And I know your mind immediately drifts to her and what she's doing, and she's doing the same thing. Stop it. Stop deflecting accountability towards someone else.
And that is exactly what we are going to do.
Listen, men, I honestly don't mean to insult you, but going to work and mowing the grass and fixing the car and the house and cleaning the gutters aren't examples of showing up in your relationship. It's the bare minimum when it comes to your relationship, because you would do all that stuff even if she wasn't around. I'm not saying you aren't putting in any effort. I'm not saying I want you to only give to someone who neglects you. I said, let's make sure either partner isn't feeling neglected, because we should care about that stuff, right? And I get it, I've lost 90% of you because you're immediately triggered and you feel unfairly blamed. Yeah, I'm the same way, but it doesn't matter. You wouldn't have listened regardless of what words I chose.
For the record, this is pure gaslighting. Where does all this come from, you wonder? Everything a woman does in a relationship and towards the home is sacrifice, while everything he does is the bare minimum. It is his job, and as such, he shouldn't expect any appreciation for doing what he is supposed to do. Remind men again why they should appreciate women for doing what they're supposed to do. If the man mowing the lawn, taking out the trash, and going to work doesn't amount to showing up in the relationship, what do you call the woman using the mowed lawn, the emptied dustbin, and the man's income? Sacrifice? Would he have to work as hard if she wasn't around? Look at the difference in working hours between married and single fathers. He'd still work these many hours if she wasn't in the home? To put these numbers into context, the difference in working hours between married men and married women is so massive, so much so that when you take these number of hours women put into paid employment, and you combine them with those they put into housework, also called the second shift, fathers still work 2 more hours than mothers every week. It is either that the difference in married men's and women's weekly working hours is so massive, or men are involved in more housework and unpaid labor than women care to admit. The point being, when you combine both paid and unpaid labor, fathers work 2 more hours than mothers weekly.
Picture your girl coming home from work, a 9 to 5, right? You also came from work, a 9 to 5. We both got to the house. I barely put my stuff down. I start cooking. While I'm cooking, I'm cleaning around the house. I'm cleaning the bathroom. I'm doing laundry, right? The food is finally ready. At this point, I'm shaking because I'm starving and I want to eat.
And you haven't stopped. You haven't had a moment to breathe.
And you're laying down in bed already watching TV, right?
And then I'm supposed to be happy.
Right.
And
then now the food is finally ready, and now I have to serve the food, take it like a king to your fucking bedroom, and then I get to eat after you?
All I have to say is literally fuck out of my face.
So today is my 3-year wedding anniversary, and I can without a doubt say that this has been hands down the most depressing, miserable, horrible 3 years of my life. I have literally never been so depressed. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. While I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him, he goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck, but he works. That is all he does. I am in a different town because I had to take my kids to their football practice, and I asked him to watch our daughter, and you know what he did? He slept. He slept since he got home. What did I do? I did homework. I fed the kids. I took my son to speech. I went to the bank. I paid people to mow my yard because, he can't mow the yard anymore. I tried taking care of myself and went on a walk, but, when I started realizing I hadn't heard from him, I'm calling and calling and calling and begging for the bare minimum of him to watch our fucking daughter. Excuse my language. I'm just so upset. To watch our daughter, to cut up a watermelon, and to make dinner. I mean, that is absolutely bare minimum. That's not asking for much.
Now, with all the complaints from mothers, especially stay-at-home mothers, imagine if mothers as a group actually worked more hours than fathers. Let's switch it up a bit. What amounts to the bare minimum for the woman? If he wasn't around, wouldn't she still cook and clean? Wouldn't she still do all of the housework?
And when you guys get divorced, not saying it's your fault, just saying when it happens, you're still going to be going to work. You're still going to be mowing the grass and fixing your car and pressure washing the driveway. You don't get to use those things as the primary ways you're showing up in this relationship. If all you're doing is stuff you'd be doing anyways if she wasn't around, that's not contributing to your relationship together.
If she left with the children and ended up receiving child support from the man, would she still expect help with the housework? Wouldn't she still do everything? If all she's doing is stuff she'd still be doing if he wasn't around, how then does she show up to the relationship?
And I know your mind immediately drifts to her and what she's doing, and she's doing the same thing. Stop it. Stop deflecting accountability towards someone else. I know she has work to do. That has nothing to do with why you haven't started doing your work. And the first work you need to do is starting to learn how to stop blame shifting and start taking accountability for the actual state of your relationship.
Putting women at the center of relationships is like putting the Earth at the center of the solar system. How does he start taking accountability for a relationship that is centered around her? If he's unhappy, that's on him. If she's unhappy, that's also on him. Still more responsibility? When then does she get to pick up her end of the couch?
It's a simple question. How are you both building intimacy together? How are you both cultivating closeness and connection and friendship? How are you prioritizing each other's love languages and emotional needs? What barriers are in the way? And what are we doing to remove them? And if you don't know, great! I didn't know either. But I stayed at I don't know for far too long, and I was too prideful or embarrassed or fearful or oblivious to actually find out what love requires of me, what any relationship needs to survive. Don't do that.
This video would have made more sense if both men and women were called out. But call out men only, then turn around and ask them both to work on intimacy, or the burden of initiating or sustaining intimacy squarely falls on him.
Because you know what I found out? Prioritizing her in the relationship, serving her, honoring her, elevating her, not in status, just out of respect. That didn't just benefit the relationship, it benefited me. It turns out selflessness is the key to selfishly getting the relationship you actually want.
And back to the beginning of the video, place her at the center of the relationship, consistently appreciate her contributions as sacrifices towards the relationship, while having in mind that all you do is the bare minimum. That's how you get to keep her happy, my friends. And we go back to jumping around, dancing around who is supposed to do what. It would make more sense if both men and women were encouraged to appreciate and prioritize each other in relationships. But he's the only one required to do the prioritizing, and in all this, what is she supposed to do for the relationship?
Wanted. I'm not saying you aren't putting in any effort. I'm not saying I want you to only give to someone who neglects you. I said let's make sure either partner isn't feeling neglected. Because we should care about that stuff, right? And there's a chance, just a small chance, that your partner feels like things are a little uneven in certain areas. They feel a little unappreciated, a little neglected, and they don't think you care. Do me a favor and prove them wrong by asking before it's too late.
Remember, this entire video is completely focused on her, neglecting him, and somehow women should act any different in relationships. That's why relationships will continue breaking.
I have literally never been so depressed. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. While I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him, he goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck. But he works. That is all he does. I tried taking care of myself and went on a walk, but when I started realizing I hadn't heard from him, I'm calling and calling and calling and begging for the bare minimum of him to watch our fucking daughter. I'm just so upset. To watch our daughter, to cut up a watermelon, and to make dinner. I mean, that is absolutely bare minimum. That's not asking for much.
Or when people praise men for doing the bare fucking minimum, like, oh my god, sis, he planned a nice date for you, make him your husband. That's the bare fucking minimum. Just because a guy is nice or a good guy doesn't mean, one, you have to give him a chance. If you don't feel an attraction to him, then don't give him a chance.
Here are some relationship behaviours in men that are so praised that I just think are the absolute bare minimum. Like, if they're not doing this, you've got a problem. You shouldn't be praising them. First up, we have men helping with the baby. It's literally half of their baby. Oh my god, I squirted out way too much of that. When I hear people like, oh my god, look at him, he's so amazing, he's changing his baby's nappy. Are you actually for real? Like, of course he should change the bloody nappy. This is freaking baby. It takes two to tango, my love. It's actually happened to me more than once where someone has been talking about their baby daddy and they're like, oh, he's so good though, he looks after them all the time. Well, freaking duh. So he bloody should. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit sassy again today. I need to calm down. Next one is when people praise men for just helping out around the house. The last time I checked, he lived there as well. So yes, he should in fact be helping out around the house. And don't get me wrong, I know that this is kind of dependent on like what roles you've set up in place in your family. Like if the man is the one that's going to provide and you're the one that's going to stay at home and clean, whatever your situation may be, like fair enough if it's kind of that situation and he's choosing to like help out and do a little bit more around the house. But I find most of the time that isn't the case and it is just like two parties going out to work still, and yet the man still somehow gets praised for doing stuff around the house.
Oh. You have now been promoted.
No, what is that?
What do you mean no? It's the car note and the mortgage.
Why are you giving it to me? You got it on autopay?
Nay, I took it off autopay just for this month, just so you can take care of it, just for your boy.
Why do I want to do that?
You not excited of the opportunity to pay the bills for the first time?
Babe, I haven't paid a bill in 6 years.
This is an opportunity.
I don't want to do it.
Why not?
Why would I want to pay a bill?
Nay, come on now.
Can you have the money?
Nay, I'm
just
trying
don't wanna pay
to
it?
I'm trying to splurge this month. This is eating into my splurging budget, okay?
Ain't no splurging.
I'm gonna need you to handle that.
I'm allergic. I don't know how to pay it.
You allergic? I'm gonna have to slide this back over to you because
I
look.
don't know how to pay it though.
Look, what you mean you don't know how to pay it?
I don't know how to do it.
They got detailed instructions in there. How you log into the account? I can give you the password,
can't
everything.
see.
You can't see?
I'm blind.
We just got you glasses the other day. You good? You
I'm
straight?
blind. I can't
You straight?
see.
I'll read it for you.
How you gonna read it though? I can't do it.
What you mean? We'll get you a braille something. You'll figure it out.
I can't do nothing.
You married?
Yes.
Cool. Is he happy?
That's a weird question. Usually they ask if I'm happy.
Yeah, but like, it's a different kind of an interview. I'm just, because he's not here, like, I want to show my care for him as well. Is he happy? Your answer is yes, no? You don't want to answer that question?
No.
I think it's okay. I think we got the answer.
Who we?
That's me and the camera guy. You got it, bro?
Well, fuck.
Are men not people? Are they not human beings like us women? Are they not deserving of love, care, and affection? Are they not deserving of, the feeling of being appreciated, the feeling of being seen, and the feeling of being heard? This is the question I have today because after I posted yesterday's video, I had quite a few people, some who even had the audacity to come into my inbox to tell me, no, you're not supposed to do that, I just shared myself packing because I had planned a weekend getaway, right? And, it was a surprise and everything like that. And some people felt like I was doing too much. And there was someone who said, no, why would you do such a thing? Why would you, at women who use their own money to do such things, what's wrong with you? You should let him spoil you, let the men spoil you, whatever. Now, for me, that came off very much like a leech. Like you're always just getting and getting and getting. You never give back. Now, obviously, I've always said here, like in terms of my personal life, I have only shared probably less than 10% of what actually goes on in my life. So when I share with you small snippets of what I'm doing, doesn't mean I've shown you the full picture, right? And now my question is, why do you feel as if men should not receive appreciation, men should not receive, for lack of a better term, pampering or spoiling or whatever it is? You are the only one who should receive it. Why?